Sometimes faith doesn't disappear. It just feels smaller. You still believe, you still pray, but it feels quieter than it used to. And maybe you wonder, what changed? Tonight isn't about fixing that. It's not about forcing strength. It's about staying. Lord, for the one listening, whose faith feels fragile, meet them gently. If their trust feels thin, hold it steady. If their prayers feel empty, sit with them in the silence. Remind them that weak faith is still faith, that you are not distant just because it feels quiet. Keep them, hold them, stay near. Amen. I used to feel you in the quiet before I close my eyes. Now I search the silence for something I recognize. The words still leave my mouth, but they don't rise the same. I still call you Lord, but it feels different when I pray. Lord, I still believe, even with the doubt in me. There are places in my heart that are harder now to see. I'm not turning back, I'm just learning how to still believe when it feels different now. Some nights I miss the fire, the certainty I knew. Now faith feels quieter, but maybe that's still you. If all I have is a mustard seed shaking in the ground, is that enough for you right now? Lord, I still believe. Help the unbelief in me. Hold the fragile pieces of what I used to be. I don't need to feel it burning like before. If you are still beside me, that is enough, Lord. I am not ashamed of faith that's worn and thin. You were never threatened by the doubt within. If you are still faithful, even when I'm unsure, then I will stay at your door. Lord, I still believe, even now, not loud, not proud, but here, somehow. talking in the dark, calling out your name. The words keep leaving my lips, but nothing seems to change. The ceiling doesn't answer, the night just stays the same. Why does it feel so quiet when I pray? Why does it feel so quiet, like my voice just fades away? I'm not asking for a miracle or lightning in the sky, just something small to tell me you're still by my side. I don't need a loud reply or every question solved, but why does it feel so quiet when I call? I've seen you move in others, heard stories of your hands. Sometimes I wonder softly if I misunderstand. Maybe you are closer than my feelings show. Maybe silence isn't distance, I just don't know. Why does it feel so quiet, like I'm speaking to the air? Are you listening in the silence, even when you don't declare? I'm still here asking, still reaching through the night, even when it feels so quiet. I will stay and cry. If silence is a season, then teach me how to stand. If you are working quietly, help me understand until I hear you clearly or feel you near again. I will keep on calling. There was a warmth I used to know when I would close my eyes, a steady kind of comfort, like sunrise in my mind. I didn't have to search for it. It met me where I kneel, I still believe you're here, but I miss the way it used to feel. I miss the way it used to feel. The nearness and the quiet, the simple kind of certainty that didn't need to fight it. I'm not asking for perfection or something unreal. I just miss the way it used to feel. I remember softer mornings when hope came easily, when faith was less complicated and lighter inside me. Now I sit with open hands, waiting to be filled. I still believe you're faithful. I just miss the way it used to feel. Maybe seasons change for reasons I don't yet understand. Maybe death grows slowly, like roots beneath the sand. If this is what maturing is, then help me to be still, even when I miss the way it used to feel. I miss the way it used to feel, but I am still here, still whispering your name, still drawing near. If thirst is part of loving you, then let my longing heal until you meet me here again, the way I used to feel. The answers didn't come today. The sky stayed still and gray. I whispered every word I had, but nothing moved my way. No sudden reassurance, no sign to hold on to, just me and all this quiet and you. So I am praying through the silence, even when I cannot see. If you are working in the waiting, then work on me. I don't need a louder moment or proof that I can claim. I will keep praying through the silence, just the same. There is something in the stillness that teaches me to stay. Faith that doesn't rush the answer, but kneels anyway. Maybe strength looks different than I thought it would. Maybe quiet trust is still good. So I am praying through the silence, through the slow and empty air. If you are near without a feeling, you are still there. I will not measure your nearness by what I feel inside. I will keep praying through the silence and let you decide. If waiting shapes the heart in ways I cannot see, then let this quiet season form something deep in me. You are good to those who linger, good to those who stay. So I will kneel in this stillness and pray. I am praying through the silence, not because I understand, but because you are worthy. Even when you don't answer on demand, no thunder, no applause, just a quiet flame. I will keep praying through the silence in your name. I've stood at quiet crossroads where questions fill the air, where easy answers disappear and doubt is everywhere. I felt the pull of giving up, of choosing something safe. But even in the silence, I remain. I'm not walking away, not turning from your name. Even when I don't feel strong or certain in my faith, there's nowhere else I'd rather go. When night becomes my day, I may be tired, but I'm not walking away. There are days I don't feel fire or clarity inside, days I sit with folded hands and nothing seems alive, but something deeper keeps me here, a quiet thread of grace. Even when my heart feels thin, I stay. I'm not walking away, even if it's hard, even when the road is long and I can't see that far. You have held me all these years, through joy and through the struggle, but I'm not walking away. If faith looks smaller now than it did before, if certainty feels fragile, like it's not sure, you are still the place I turn when I don't understand. Even with these questions, I stand. I'm not walking away, not because I see, but because somewhere in my soul you're still calling me. I don't have it figured out, I don't have to say. I know you're still my home, and I'm not walking away. If you are shaping something in this in-between, then let this stubborn staying mean something to me. I will not demand the answers or force what I can't make. I may bend, but I won't break. I'm not walking away. Even in the gray, even when the feeling fades and hope feels far away, you are still the one I trust. When nothing else makes sense, I am still here in your presence. Don't have mountains moving or answers falling down, no bold declarations shaking the ground. Some days my faith feels smaller than it did before, just a quiet little flicker, nothing more. Even with a small faith, you are not ashamed. Even when it trembles, when it barely stays the same. If all I bring is fragile and unsure belief, even with a small faith, you still welcome me. I don't always trust quickly, I don't always stand tall. Sometimes I'm just holding on at all. But you have never measured the size of what I bring. You see the quiet reaching in everything. Even with a small faith, you are still near. You don't turn away from weakness or from fear. If hope feels like a thread that's barely holding tight, even with a small faith, you stay through the night. I used to think I needed stronger hands to pray, perfect confidence to find my way. But maybe what you're asking is simply that I stay with whatever faith I have today. Even with a small faith, you are still enough. Even when believing feels rough, you are not intimidated by the size of me. Even with a small faith, you still see. So I will bring you what I have, even if it's small, because a trembling trust is still trust after all. And you are still my anchor in ways I cannot trace. Even with a small faith, I rest in grace. Some days I wake up certain, some days I hesitate. Some mornings I feel anchored, some I feel misplaced. My thoughts can shift like weather, my courage comes and goes, but you remain unshaken through highs and lows. You are steady when I am not, firm when I am weak, when my confidence is fading and doubt begins to speak. You are not unsettled by what I'm thinking of. You are steady when I am not, and that is enough. I've measured faith by feeling, by how secure I stand, but maybe trust is deeper than what I understand. Even when I'm restless or unsure what to say, you are not distracted or pulled away. You are steady when I am not, constant through the straining, when my prayers feel scattered or tangled up in pain. You do not shift with shadows or change from day to day. You are steady when I am not, and I will stay. If my trust feels fragile like glass beneath my feet, if I question more than answer or struggle to believe, you are not intimidated by the weight I bring. You hold what I cannot hold, everything. You are steady when I am not, faithful through it all. Even when my heart feels small or I begin to fall, you do not lose your footing or turn because I'm fraud. You are steady when I am not, and you have not forgotten. So I will lean into that, into what does not move, into the quiet promise that you still prove. I may sway like branches in uncertain wind, but you are steady again and again. Again and again. I used to grip so tightly, afraid that I would fall, clenching every outcome, trying to hold it all. But strength that comes from panic only wears me thin. So I am learning softer ways to stand again. Hold not chasing every answer that doesn't come to me. If waiting is the pathway, then waiting I will stand, holding on with quiet hands. There is a kind of courage that doesn't make a sound, not loud enough for headlines, but deep enough to ground. It doesn't shake the heavens or demand a sign. It simply stays in place, one day at a time, holding on with quiet hands. Through mornings that feel slow, through evenings filled with questions I may not ever know. You are not in a hurry, so I won't rush your plan. I'm holding on with quiet hands. Some days the sky feels closer, some days it feels far. Some days I sense your nearness, some days I just start. But faith is not a feeling that rises and then fades. It's the steady choice to linger when nothing seems to change, holding on with quiet hands when strength feels small. Not because I see the end, but because you hold it all. If hope feels like a whisper instead of a command, I'm holding on with quiet hands. Teach me how to trust you without demanding proof. Teach me how to rest in you without chasing truth. If you are shaping patience in places I don't see, let it grow in hidden roots inside of me, holding on with quiet hands, even in delay, even when the answer seems so far away. You are not unsettled by what I cannot stand, so I'm holding on with quiet hands. I don't need to feel the wind to know the air is there. I don't need a sudden light to know you care. If this season stretches longer than I had planned, I will not close my heart or unclench my hand, holding on with quiet hands through doubt and through release, through seasons of uncertainty and fragile peace. I am not abandoned even when I don't understand, so I'm holding on with quiet hands. If tomorrow looks the same and nothing new appears, if I wake to ordinary days and ordinary fears, I will not measure faithfulness by what I see expand. I will measure it in staying where I stand, holding on with quiet hands, not gripping out of fear, just resting in the promise that you are here. No applause, no grand command, just me and you in quiet hands. Years have changed around me. The air is not the same. What once felt bright and certain feels quieter these days. But seasons do not cancel what they cannot erase, and I am still held in grace. Still yours in this season, even when I don't feel strong, even when my faith feels smaller, or the nights feel long. I may not feel the fire like I did back then, but I am still yours again and again. There are days I question softly what I thought I knew. Days I sit in stillness without a clear view. But doubt has never claimed me or pulled me from your side. Even in uncertainty, I abide. Still yours in this season, through the slow and through the gray, through unanswered questions that do not fade away. You are not discouraged by where I've been, and I am still yours, even now within. If love is not a feeling, but a promise that remains, then nothing in this quiet can break these chains. Not distance, not delay, not fragile trust or what I cannot say. Still yours in this season, not because I prove, but because you chose me, and that does not move. Even when I falter or lose my sense of sight, you do not rewrite your delight. The weather of my spirit may rise and fall, but your affection outlasts it all. So I will not measure belonging by how I feel. I will rest in what is steady and real. Still yours in this season, through weakness and through change, through ordinary mornings and days that feel the same. Nothing in this valley, nothing I have done can separate me from your love. impressive. It doesn't make a sound. No mountains moving suddenly, no walls coming down. Some days it feels so fragile, like it could break, but I am still believing, even when I shake. My weak faith is still faith, even when it bends, even when it questions or doesn't comprehend. It may not feel courageous or steady in its pace, but my weak faith is still faith. I used to think I needed certainty to stand, perfect understanding to hold your hand. Now I see that staying counts more than display, and quiet trust still finds its way. My weak faith is still faith, not because it's strong, but because it keeps returning when the nights are long. It may not burn like wildfire or move at lightning's pace, but my weak faith is still faith. You are the one who holds it, even when I cannot. You are not discouraged by what I've got. If I am barely clinging with trembling hands, you are not measuring how firm I stand. My weak faith is still faith, even small and thin, even when it wrestles with the doubt within. It may not silence questions or make them go away, but my weak faith is still faith. So I will not despise the smallness of my trust. I will not compare it or call it dust. If all I have is longing to keep my eyes on you, then that is enough to carry me through. My weak faith is still faith, and you are still my guide, even when I cannot see the other side. I do not need perfection to stand in grace. My weak faith is still